These proceedings are being recorded. I'm going to ask everyone to please stay muted. These proceedings are being recorded, therefore all persons who are speaking should do so one at a time to ensure that all testimony is clearly audible on the recording device. If English is not your primary language, then please inform me when I call your case. We have a translator who will assist you during the proceeding. When your case is called, the property owner, agent for the property owner, and any witness that you may have should come forward. When asked, please click the raise hand button on your screen so you can be acknowledged. If you are not the property owner or an attorney representing the property owner, then you must present a notarized power of attorney affidavit in order for your testimony to be taken on behalf of the property owner. For new cases, you will be asked, I apologize, my dog is making an appearance. For new cases, I will be asked for the record if you are aware of and understand the violation that is being heard today, and do you understand what is required to resolve the violation? Please answer accordingly. The city will present its case first, and then the property owner and or violator will be given an opportunity to testify on their behalf, to bring forward witnesses to testify, and to present evidence and photographs and to cross-examine the city's witnesses. Following the case presentation, I will issue a finding of fact for the case. If I find that a violation of city codes exists or existed at your property, then depending on the case type, I will set an abatement date for the violation to be resolved. Or for repeat violations, I will impose a daily fine amount. For new non-repeat cases, my order will include an abatement date by which you must resolve the violation, and a daily fine amount that I may impose at a future hearing date should the violation not be resolved by the abatement date. If I find sufficient cause to postpone enforcement action at this time, I will table this case proceeding to another hearing date in the future. If you do not agree with my finding of fact and or ruling, then the property owner may appeal the administrative order on the case to the circuit court. An appeal must be filed within 30 days of the date of the execution of the administrative order to be appealed. In accordance with Florida statutes, if a person decides to appeal any decision made by the special magistrate with respect to any matter considered at these proceedings, then the person will need a verbatim record of the proceeding. This record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. The cost of obtaining the verbatim record shall be the sole responsibility of the appellant, and it is recommended that persons who plan to appeal their case should provide their own court reporter at these proceedings. Pursuant to city codes, if the city of North Miami prevails in prosecuting a case before the special magistrate, the city shall be entitled to recover all costs incurred in prosecuting the case. The current cost assessment amount is $100 per case. Once the city records an order that imposes a fine and authorizes a lien against the property, then the city will charge additional administrative fees to record and release the lien. Madam Clerk?
Thank you. Now the police officer will give the Pledge of Allegiance.
We ask everyone to turn on their cameras.
Sorry about that. Yes, everyone, if everyone can go ahead and enable their cameras and the microphones. Thank you very much. We need to see.
We still need you to stay muted. Please mute your device. We just need
My apologies. Go ahead and mute. We just need to enable the cameras, please.
Officer, you may proceed.
I was just waiting, Special Magistrate. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now,
Then,
everyone needs to enable their
apologies.
cameras so the officer could administer the oath.
Yes, to the officers, please. Inspectors, please, if you can all enable your cameras. Inspector Casimir, I can't see your camera. Thank you. All right, you may proceed, officer.
Thank you. If you're giving testimony today on a case, please rise and raise your right hand as I issue the oath. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say out loud, I do.
I do. I do.
Thank you. Now we're gonna proceed with the translators. Can you guys please mute your... Thank you so much, translators. I'm missing one more. There you are. Thank you very much. Mr. Acuna, can you please? I can't hear you. You're muted. Let me see. We can't hear you. Mr. Acuna?
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear
Okay,
you.
thank you.
All right, officer, you may proceed.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the translations which you are about to give in these proceedings will be accurate and correct to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Cadet, you said yes, right? I'm sorry, I didn't see. Okay. All right, Madam Clerk, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the hearing agenda?
Yes, so, do you want me to give you the, amendments first, or would you like me to read first, my script?
No, go ahead. You
Okay.
can read your script and then we can do the amendments.
Perfect, thank you. Good morning and thank you for participating in today's special magistrate hearing. I will review the process by which today's hearing will be conducted. Make sure your device is always muted unless you are giving testimony on a case. If you're using two devices to participate in today's hearing, be sure your audio is only enabled on one device. When your case is called, if you're signed into Zoom, you will receive a notification giving you access to audio and video so that you may give your testimony. If you are physically at the City Hall and wish to give testimony, you must sign in with a court clerk and await a text message indicating your case is ready to be heard. Upon receiving that message, you should immediately come to the court compliance office to be provided with access to a computer. If you would like to speak on behalf of a case, once the case is called, you should click the raise hand button to be acknowledged. Before giving testimony on your case, please state your name, property address, and relationship to the property. If you wish to have an interpreter assist during your case, please indicate this when your case is called. Your magistrate, that concludes the instructions. So the abatement dates, let me know when you're ready. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, because I was muted.
You're fine.
I am.
Thank you. So 30 days is August 18th. 60 days is September 15th. 90 days is October 17th. And the one amendment that we have for today's agenda is case 15 has been closed.
15 is
Case
closed.
number 15. Yes, ma'am.
Got it. All right, great. All right, if you're ready, you can call your first case.
Yeah, let me promote. Mr. Diaz, I have promoted you to be a panelist. If you can please access and accept it. Mr. Diaz, can you hear me? Okay. Mr. Diaz?
Pass his case. Let's call the next one.
Next one, it's gonna be, oh, wait, he's rejoining. Let's see. Here we go. He's there.
My apologies, I stepped away
Good
from.
morning, Mr. Diaz.
Good morning, everyone. My apologies, Madam Magistrate.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You wanna
If you
read
could
the
please,
case?
his case is number 6.
All right, read it into the record.
CERB, Cerberus SFR Holdings LP, CEFAW 2025-00105. Mr. Diaz, if you can please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Good
And the
morning.
inspector for this case is Ms. Shanna Sanders.
Good morning. Mr. Diaz, can you please state your full name for the record in relationship to the property?
Good morning, Kevin Diaz, counsel for Cerberus SFR Holdings LP.
Okay. Normally, we don't swear in the attorneys.
Oh, understood. My apologies.
I promise to tell the truth anyway.
Ms. Sanders,
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami.
we can't see you, Ms. Sanders.
May I provide the magistrate with some background while we wait?
Sure.
My request for you, ma'am, would be to, if we can extend this or continue it until next month. The reason being is I was just looped in this matter yesterday, and luckily I had a hearing in Port St. Lucie that settled, so I was able to appear this morning. My clients are a single family REIT, so all these are occupied by tenants, or if they're not occupied, they're vacant because they're in transition of a tenant. We were just made aware of this concerning the fence issue. From my side, we need to figure out A, what's the extent of the issue, and B, is a permit required in order to cure it. If we can continue this for one more month, we're going to have a pretty good idea of how much time this is going to take us and what the extent of the damage is.
Okay. Ms. Sanders?
I'm sorry, I'm having a problem coming up with my video. It's telling me that I'm unable to log on.
How old is this case?
That case is from 2025. It was, let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, March 3rd, 2025.
All right. It's relatively new. Okay, so you want a reset to August 18th, counsel?
Let me confirm, you're saying August 18th? That would be, yes, very helpful.
All right, let's reset 30 days. Is that all for you today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
All right,
Happy 4th of July.
same.
Next case is gonna be case number 16. Time is Golden. If you can please accept my invitation to promote you as a panelist.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right.
Case number 16. Royal Palma Apartments LLC, MHVIO 2023008889. This was found guilty by Magistrate Smith with an abatement date of June 20, 2024. Fine set at $350 plus $100 cost assessment. Ms. Golding, if you can please raise your hand, your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you. And the officer for this case is Mr. Jamie George.
Good morning, Ms. Golding.
Good morning, Madam Magistrate.
Long time no see.
Good morning. I'm Inspector Jamie for the City of North Miami. I'm inheriting this case from a previous officer. This was an annual housing inspection that was done for the property. The violation was open March 24 of 2023. I posted the notice to appear. Give me 1 second. I posted the notice to appear on May 31st, 2025. The notice to appear was mailed out as well. The final reinspection date was June 18th. I did speak with Rahima yesterday. She went by to the building department yesterday for the permit. There is a permit that is pending for the door, but she stated that she went yesterday and they couldn't locate the permit. I guess the papers or whatever they did, the building department. So, I mean, there's the permit's still pending in the system, but it's not issued as of today. Still not issued.
All right. Ms. Golding.
Good morning. Rahima Golding. I I work as the compliance and permit specialist for Royal Palma Apartments LLC. The permit was submitted back in 2024, I believe. We had some issues with locating the correct product approval. We did finally get that and submitted it, and to be honest, it kind of got overlooked. Not kind of, it did get overlooked by myself. And I did go to the building department yesterday, but I had been there a couple of weeks prior to try to push the permit through. Yesterday morning when I went in, they were unable to locate the file. I did call back to speak with one of the permit clerks, and he told me he had not located it yet, but that he would locate it and make the adjustments in the system before he left yesterday. I did not get an opportunity to follow up and see if it had been done, but that is where we are at this time. But it is, I'm sorry, the only thing that was pending was an updated product approval. So that has been provided.
Okay. Is that about right, Inspector George?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what are you seeking?
All I need is 30 days. This is a really easy item and it should
I
not
thought.
take as long as it has. Yeah, the work is already done. We just needed to get the door approved. So I can make sure that gets done before the 30 days.
All right. Any objection, Mr. Inspector Warden?
No, I honestly, it's the, I would say it's not her fault that the building department can't locate the file. So she's doing her part to get this violation in compliance.
Understood. All right, let's reset 30 days.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you. Great seeing you.
Likewise. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Wait, sorry about that. Aqua Strata condo.
Yes, hi, this is Adriana. I'm present.
Good morning. Okay, so that's gonna be three cases number 3, 4, and 5. Would you like me to read them all at once, or would you like me to go one by one, Magistrate?
No, you can do them all at
Ma'am,
once.
give me 1 second. The question is for Magistrate Kasu. Thank you.
Great. You're blocking my entire page, so I can't access my.
Oh, my bad.
So if you scroll up, just scroll up so that I can see if
The
you're related.
cases,
again.
of course.
So, I see.
Would you like me to stop sharing and then go back up? I can do it.
No, it's okay. Let's do them one by one.
One by one?
Yes.
Okay. Aqua Strata Condo Association, case number 3, CEEXC 2023-00034, found guilty by Magistrate Smith, must obey by May 16, 2025. Fine set at $350 plus $100 cost assessment. The officer for this case is Miss Sanders. Ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what's your name for Aqua Strata Condo.
Adriana Moya and a board of directors.
Adriana Moya, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God, please say I do.
I do.
And the inspector for this case is Miss Sanders. Miss Sanders, we can see you now.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I apologize.
Of course.
Hi, Inspector.
Hello. Shanna Sanders, Neighborhood Services Department Inspector. As already stated, this is an old case for 1777 Venice Lane. As of the reinspection date, compliance has not been met.
I just want to confirm this is the one ending in 34, and this is for mildew removal and washing touch-up paint of the building. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Okay. And as I understand, we're not changing the color of the building as such, that we do not need permit for this. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So we have hired the contractor. They have already pressure washed the building, and they've put the primer on the wall, so they're working their way around the building. So it's in work. It hasn't completed yet, but it's in work. So if you could allow us for a extension of time to finalize this, I'd be happy to either have you come back out or send you photos as soon as they're done. They should be done in about a week.
Any objections from the city?
Magistrate, if I can, I would object to giving more time. I apologize, but this is a case that's been open since April of 2023, whereas no contact has been made with me aside for maybe the past month or two regarding this matter. The case has already been heard last month, for which the property owners and or no one from the association showed up. So I would like to go ahead and push this forward.
If I may, Magistrate, one of the issues that we had, and the inspector was very kind to assist us with, is that the correspondence and information that was being mailed out was going to an incorrect address. So we were not aware of these notices until about 2 months ago. We started receiving them in person. And then after that, they came in the mail as well to the updated address that the inspector updated. So if you could please help us out to give us on this one a 30-day extension, we would really appreciate it. And I know the inspector has been forthright and very patient with us, but we're a little community. The insurance expenses of the building really took a toll on us. So anything you guys can do to help us out is really appreciated.
And Magistrate, I
I
apologize.
have Ms. Shani Tracy from the building department. She would like to say something as well.
And that's what I was about to chime in to say. I see that I've been educated on, with it being a commercial property, regardless if it's white, that the permit is needed, again, because it's a commercial building.
Letter in, please.
That is not a problem. We can pull a permit if you guys want us to pull a permit. If you'll allow us a 30-day extension to pull the permit and complete this work, that would be mostly appreciated, especially now that we are on a holiday week as well. So
She raised the issue of notice. Did we have an issue with giving them notice, this case?
There was an issue of notice, and the magistrate brought some of these things up last week. It was not so much an issue. It's more so that the property that we were sending it to, when we looked into Sunbiz, it was showing, and it's still showing, is that the business is dissolved for whatever reason. He even stated that he wanted to make sure, and they'll probably even have a problem with obtaining a permit because it doesn't show as the registered agent that they had listed on Sunbiz is, I guess they done changed over something, but again, it's still showing that it's been dissolved. I've just been in contact with the director, which again, it doesn't even show as a director in Sunbiz, but we've been mailing it to both them as well as the property, in addition to posting the property.
the association has been in place since 2006, 2007. It is still in standing, and we had actually sent in proof that the Sunbiz information was correct back in 2023. So I apologize, but I'm not sure my confusion here. So if you could be so kind to allow us a little more time to get this matter resolved, that would be most helpful.
All right, so in other words, you have been on notice since 2023?
No, we did not receive any notice, or we were not aware of anything since 2 months ago, approximately, when I first spoke to Shanna and she called me on the phone and notices appeared at the property. And then I sent her an email showing her that the 2023 registration on Sunbiz showed the correct address, but the notices were never received, nor by the board, nor by the property manager, PMI.
All right.
So if you would allow us some time to finalize the issues that we have, that would be most helpful.
All right. Based on the testimony of the officer, if I believe that they were only put on notice in the past few months, then I will give him a 30 days extension. That will be your final continuance on this case. So I will give you the 30 days. But if this matter comes back unresolved, then I'm going to abate the monthly amount. I mean, the daily fine amount. Do you understand?
Yeah, let me ask you a question. The 30-day extension, does that mean as soon as we have the permit through the clock stops, or are you asking me to complete the work and close the permit in the 30 days?
Well, the building inspector has indicated that you do need to pull a permit in terms of the paint. So if the permit is with the city, and the city has not approved it, then I will take that into consideration. But if there's no permit pending, or you submit it late, Today is July 2nd. Your next hearing is August 18th. If you bring it to the city on August 1st, then we have an issue.
And I just want to make sure for clarification, because again, we have been speaking quite often about this violation. So I think I'm understanding Adriana's question as to be, and I don't want this to happen as though she obtains the permit. And I think we all know that when you obtain a permit, they give you 6 months to close it out, to get the inspections done, to get, you know, it finalized. I don't want them to, let's say, obtain the permit hypothetically August 1st, and now they think that they're going to have an additional 6 months to do this. So again, I just want to make sure on the record that we're still understanding that the 30 days that, you know, I'm kind of okay with if that's what we're deciding. But in 30 days, since you're already saying you started the work, it's already been pressure cleaned, that it is to be permit obtained, property cleaned, pressure cleaned, painted, and in good standing on those at the reinspection. Not that you're granted an additional.
On this case, I don't have a problem with that. And I really
You're breaking up. Is anyone else
Inspector.
hearing?
Thank you.
I can't hear
Yes,
her.
she's breaking
Mayor,
up.
Adriana, we can barely hear you.
I can hear you. Can you
You
hear
were
me?
breaking up. What were you
Hello?
saying? Yes.
Hello?
What did you say? Can you
I
repeat
said,
what you said?
Yes, I wanted to thank the inspector, and I understand that we need to complete the pressure washing, painting, and have the permit open, and hopefully close by then before the August 18th hearing date. I understand. Thank you.
All right. Call the next case.
Case number 4, Capital Strata Condo Association. Case number CEFOB 2023-00449. Found guilty by Magistrate Smith. Must abate by May 16, 2025. Fine set at $350 plus $100 cost assessment. The officer for this case is Ms. Tana Sanders.
Which case are we hearing? I apologize.
Number 4. Case number 4.
That's the GMP or the FOB?
CEFOB.
FOB. Okay, Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Neighborhood Service Inspector. This is a reports of previous compliance. This case has already been found guilty with an abatement date of May 16, 2025. Upon my reinspection date, compliance has not been met. The business tax receipt has still not been obtained.
Ms. Adriana.
Just to bring you up to speed on this, I have spoken to the city fire department. We're waiting for them to do their inspection. I tried to ask them if they would expedite, and they said they wouldn't. So as soon as I get that, I can submit the permit, unless I can submit the permit without having the backup documentation just to open the case, and then follow up with the city of fire department and the Durham information afterwards, because that's what's taking me the longest.
You guys have been without for 2 years.
Without what? I'm sorry.
You have been operating. This is for the this is the business tax receipt or for
Business tax
That's
receipt.
correct.
This one is for
That's
the
correct.
business tax.
And Magistrate, it's been longer than that. Before this violation was open, I was the officer for the east side of the east side portion of the city, and I had gave courtesy notices. I did a minimum housing inspection. It was trouble getting in and out of the gate of this property because it's a gated, small apartment building, but it is prior to the 2 years. But we'll focus on the 2 since that's when they were originally put on notice with the notices of violation. But it was about a year prior to this that they've been out without having a business tax receipt or certificate of use.
all right. You wanted to say something? Was your hands raised?
No, I just wanted to say I appreciate the inspector's comments. She's been forthcoming on the business tax. She tried to assist us to get this expedited. But my question again, I guess, is can we just submit the fee and the permit and then the back documentation to follow up? Or do we have to have everything together? Because the application says you have to have everything from the other two entities when you submit the permit.
When you're saying the permit, are you meaning the
application?
The application for the certificate of use?
Correct.
And if I can, I do believe, and I'm really not sure, I do believe we have the Development Services Department on, because someone answered that question. Even though we have the business tax receipt here, they have an additional certificate of use case, and I don't think they can move forward with doing anything with the business tax receipt before obtaining the certificate of use.
Correct. It's kind of like a chain effect. That's how I understood it when I read it. But perhaps there's a different way to do it so that we could right away file our application, pay the fee, and then meanwhile we're getting the backup documentation to complete the process.
Okay. Who do you say was present?
Hi, this is Rafael. I oversee licensing over at the Development Services Department, Rafael Padron. And that is correct. So part of the initial CU application process is a review for code enforcement, fines, liens, and open permits. So she would not be able, not she, I'm sorry, Aqua Strata Condo Association would not be able to move forward until that is finalized.
All right. Okay, in that case, since we have given them 30 days, let's also reset this one for 30 days so that the cases can run together.
Rafael, since you're on the phone, could I ask you a quick question?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Okay. So the city fire department, I can get that information from them pretty simply. What is it that you need from us for the DERM? Because I saw there that there's a DERM. Is it a letter from them, or what is it that you need from them?
If
Do
we
you
can,
have?
wait, can we pause for a moment, Raphael? I apologize. You know, I'm not sure how many cases we have on there, and again, we've been talking about this. Can we have that conversation? Because off of this recording, so
Not a
that you know
problem.
she can get that, because that case is for September for the certificate of use. So we can give you all the information that you need for all of your cases outside of this hearing.
No problem. I really
Sounds good.
appreciate it, Inspector. Thank you. I will contact
Inspector
Rafael on a
Sanders
separate matter.
is doing my job. Thank you.
I apologize. I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes, but no, we've been talking about this for the past month or two, so she's aware of what's been going on. Raphael, we've talked about it. That's why I wanted to bring them in, but we'll make sure she gets this information before the day is out, if not on Monday when I return to work.
Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it, Inspector.
All right, next one.
Case number 5, Aqua Strata Condo Association, CEGMP 2023-00157, found guilty by Magistrate Smith, must abate by May 16th, 2025. Fine set at $500 plus 100 cost assessment. The officer for this case is Ms. Jana Sanders.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami, Neighborhood Service Inspector. I'm going to ask for a small favor. Cindy, while I'm giving an update on this, can you pull up the Sunbiz, go through all of my photos, and can we pull up the Sunbiz for this? But Shanna Sanders, Neighborhood Service Inspector, stop right there, City of North Miami, Neighborhood Services Department. This is an old case that was already presented by Magistrate Smith. It was already adjudicated as of my last inspection of the property for the repairs or replacement of the pool. Violation has not been, compliance has not been met. The violation still stands. I don't see any permit applications on file, so I would like to move this case forward as well.
I would like to request again on this one a 30-day extension. I have the contractor, Snap Industries, that does concrete repairs, is been hired to help us get through the permitting. So I can have this permitting to you guys within the 30 days to be in compliance with this. I've already spoken to them.
Is there something that you wanted to say about the Sunbiz?
No, I was just trying to look at something. My computer's moving slow, so I couldn't put up. But no, I just was looking. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So this too have been ongoing for the past 2 years regarding the pool.
Yeah. Again, though, the notice, we did not get the notice till a couple of months ago on this matter as well, just like the other ones. So if possible, if you could allow us the 30 days to get in compliance with this, it'd be much appreciated.
And
This has been,
magistrate,
this has been ongoing for, I'm assuming this is closed, it's secured, correct? That no tenants, no one can get around, the pool area. Is that
no,
about?
no, that is not correct. They can fully access it just as I did. To take these pictures, you can just open the self-closing gate and walk onto the pool area. And this one, because, you know, and I'll let building chime in if they need to, this is, you know, I would consider this, you know, life safety. This isn't safe and looks good in any kind of condition. At the same time, we're now up on hurricane season. Those bricks and stuff are very, very loose. They can
Yeah.
become projectiles. So with this one, this is more so submitting an application, which hasn't even been done. I would like to possibly, you know, get this one with a fine running to maybe get this moving a little bit faster with getting this taken care of.
I believe this area should be secured and so that no one can access it. You're
That's not a problem. We can secure and lock the gate so nobody can get in there while we close the permit and have the pavers put back in place with the contractor.
Inspector Sanders, you said there was somebody else that needed to specify?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Building Officer Colson speaking. The area in question needs to be secured off. We were over there for something else the other day, but we knew it was on the court docket. All those bricks need to be removed that's loose because we are in storm season, gathered up, stored somewhere. The pool water needs to either be drained or cleared because it brings mosquitoes. And we, just like Officer Sanders said, we walk straight through the gate. So the whole pool area needs to be locked in and locked from both sides where nobody can enter the gate. They did have a pending permit from 2024, but there has been no action on it at this time for the pool area. So they're still waiting some more inspections, some more dockets to be turned in, but they have a pending permit. So to us, a pending permit is like having no permit because there's been no action taken on it as of this time. So it's been some denials, some approvals. So they need to come back and see what's going on with that permit. And then they can move forward from there. But this case has been open for a while.
Yeah.
Just so if I can comment on the pending permit, unfortunately, our engineer
Miss Adrian, you're coming in and out.
Okay.
You're coming.
I was just
coming
going
in.
to say the pending permit was because the drawings were several changes were requested to be done on the drawings, and we've been going back and forth on this. And the engineer is very busy, so it's not easy to get things turned around. So my apologies for that. If we could agree to a small one-time fine to process, we would be agreeable to that, and also an extension of time if you'd be so kind. And we will lock up the gates and put the pavers away.
Okay, one thing I'm sorry, Your Honor. You're using the same engineer. The last denial was 4/16/24. We're a year later. So that's what Officer Sanders is saying. We're over a year later. And we still haven't got an update to those same plans that were denied then. When are we saying that you're going to have the plans updated and into the building department?
I can help with that.
Yes,
I can help with that. Yep. Basically I've been trying to work with you guys, but this one here is unacceptable because of the hazard that it causes for your tenants, or not tenants, your residents. So for this item number 5, I do find that the violation still exists. I am going to ratify the daily fine amount. Let me access mine because you took yours down. Hold on. What was the fine amount again?
500.
500 plus 100. As of May 16th, 2025.
All right. So I will ratify the daily fine amount retroactive to May May 16, 2025. I'm going to give you 60 days to get this thing resolved. So, because I want you back here well, the case will be back in 30 days. So in 30 days, you can report where you are, but I have ratified the daily fine amount because
Okay.
this has been ongoing. And if your engineer was aware of over a year ago that, they needed to make the necessary changes to the plans, and they have done nothing, this is unacceptable. And no one thought to secure the area so that kids at least don't have access to it, don't have access to the pool. That's an issue. And so
Not a problem. We will comply with that. Not a problem. We will comply with that. In the next 48 hours, we'll have that secure.
All right. Is there anything else for Accra?
No, that will be the last case for today.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
So that does all the attendees that we have for today. If we could go ahead and release the translators for today's hearing.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You're free to go. Okay, we may proceed.
Thank you. So we are going to start our agenda with case number 1. Sorry about that. Case number 1490 North 123 LLC. Case number is PDFAO 2023-00050. Found guilty by Magistrate Cassell, must obey by April 18th, 2025. Fine set at 150 plus 100 cost assessment. The officer for this case is Miss Shanna Sanders.
Shanna Sanders, Neighborhood Service Inspector. This is a case that's already been adjudicated. As of my last reinspection, the violation still remains. The outstanding balance to Cry Wolf still remains unpaid. I am showing that I gave proper notice. The notice was mailed out, certified, and sent to the property owner, as well as posted at the property, both at the main office of the condo and on the front door of the unit 111.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the court enforcement officer, I find that the violation still exists. Also find good notice, given proper notice, owners have failed to appear. I hereby ratify the $150 retroactive to April 18th, 2025. Madam Clerk.
Sorry about that. I was muted. My apologies. Case number 2, 1525 Northeast 125 Street, Prestige Point. Case number MHVIO 2023-01106. The inspector for this case is Mr. Jamie George.
We heard that one. That one was Rahama's case. We heard that case already, I believe. Did we not?
No.
Ma'am. I have not.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the officers in my ear talking. I'm throwing off a little bit. I apologize. Y'all are, honey.
Good morning. This violation was opened by a previous inspector. This was another annual housing inspection that was conducted. This case was originally opened. I'm sorry. back in 2023 on July 5th. The case was originally set to come to a hearing back in August of last year, but that's when the hack occurred. So I guess it's been postponed till now. I posted notice to appear May 31st. The notice to appear was mailed out. Final inspection June 18th. As of final reinspection, I checked the hallway lights, the emergency lights, and they still don't work.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice, owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $150.
Okay, next case is gonna be case number 7. Elila LLC CEGMP 2025-00041. Magistrate Casu, this case, the inspector for this case is Mr. Gabriel Morales. Unfortunately, Mr. Gabriel Morales had an emergency and he could not attend to today's magistrate, but we have Inspector Ferguson to go ahead and present his case on his behalf.
Okay.
Yes, good morning, Madam Magistrate. My name is Michael Ferguson from NSD from the city of North Miami. And this case was issued, the violation was issued since January 28, 2025. And upon reinspection, there was no compliance met. Everything was sent. There was no compliance. There was no compliance met at all since 6 months ago.
Sorry, tell me again about notice.
The notice of violation was sent since the 5th of June for this case. And there was no compliance afterwards until today.
Notice to appear was mailed via certified mail on June 5th, 2025.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see the damages again.
Of course.
All right, what am I looking at? What am I missing?
So it's the ceiling damage. Would you like me to zoom it in?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. All right, I see. I was looking at the windows. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Ceiling, okay.
Yeah, the ceiling is damaged.
What's on the windows or doors? What's the white stuff? Is that paint?
It looks like paint to me.
Yeah, it was supposed to be painted.
This property is occupied?
No, it's not occupied.
Okay, so it's all right.
And that's when it was opened. That photo is when it was opened.
All right, got it. Okay, so based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I see that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice. Owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $350.
Case number 8, Elila LLC, CEPPK 2025-00006. once again, the officer for this case is Mr. Gabriel Morales, but to present that case, we have Mr. Michael Ferguson.
Yes, good morning again, Madam Magistrate. My name is Michael Ferguson from NSD from the city of North Miami. It's the same thing, it's for the same property basically, and the violation was issued on January 28th, and everything was mailed at the same time from 6/5/2020, the violation was mailed, and there's still no compliances for, as final inspection was 6/14, there's still no compliances for this property.
What's the complaint?
The list of complaint is the parking lot is deteriorating. It need to be resurfaced, and the pavement itself, the resurface, the pave and the stripe of the parking lot need to be done, and they need to obtain a permit from the city of North Miami for that. If you look at the pictures, the parking lot is not done. That's it right here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice. The owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $350.
Thank you, Madam Magistrate.
Thank you.
Next case is case number 9, Ferreira LLC, CETRE 2023-00030, found guilty by Magistrate Caso, Massa Bay by June 16th, 2025. Fine set at $200 plus $100 of cost assessment. This case is also for Mr. Gabriel Morales. The officer to present this case is Mr. Inspector Stevenson Dorval. Mr. Dorval.
Good morning, Madam Magistrate. This is Inspector Dorval. This case is basically was the original citation was written on 7/22/2023, and the initial notice went out on the 27th of July of 2023. Requested board hearing was on the 9th of August of 2023, and this case did finally go to magistrate before the board on the 8th of May of 2025, which the resident was found guilty. And basically, what took place here was the trees was removed off, was cut down on the property without a permit, and even getting a permit after the fact is basically can't change the fact that the trees were basically cut down. So the resident was found guilty.
Okay, let me understand. So they did pull a permit?
No, as of today's date, they have not.
As of today, they never pulled the permit. But
Okay.
they was told that they was advised that they should have pulled the after the fact permit.
Okay. And they still haven't done anything since 2023?
No.
Okay. Who would remember this? Is Miss Sanders still there? I thought you guys used to have a one-time fine for cutting trees, no?
I am still here. What was the question?
Wasn't there a time when there was a one-time fine for removing trees, or is
Yes, when in cases that are irreversible or irreplaceable, they are giving sometimes a one-time fine. Things like short-term rentals, tree cutting. Yes, to answer your question.
okay? So I'm trying to understand why this one is a running fine, but anyways. Okay, so based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I apologize. When was notice given for today's hearing?
Today's hearing notice was given on the
June 5th,
of June
2025.
of 2025, correct?
Okay. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I also find good notice, given proper notice, orders have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city the daily fine amount of, what was it?
It says 200 plus 100 cost assessment.
Okay, the daily fine amount of $200 is hereby ratified, retroactive to June 16, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Dorval.
Case
number 10, Greenwich Association, Inc., CEFOB 2023-00482. The officer for this inspector is Ms. Shanna Sanders.
From Greenwich. Shanna Sanders, Neighborhood Service Inspector. This is a new case. A new case for Greenwich Park on 11930 Northeast 19th Drive. This is a case for window screens that need to be installed in or placed on the existing windows. The property was initially inspected June 7, 2024, whereas a notice of violation was mailed out to the I'm sorry, 2023. Oh, wow. My correction. This violation was originally cited on January 18, 2023 by then Inspector Tamara Petit, who's no longer with the city. So it was passed on to me to follow up and reinspect. I showed that we went back out on June 7th of 2024, re-inspected the property. At that time, the violation still remained. So we moved it forward to be presented to the magistrate. I posted the property for the notice to appear June 1st of 2025 for this hearing. I am showing proper service was given. Certified mailing was mailed out to the property by staff on June 1st, and I posted the property on June 3rd. Again, as of my reinspection on June 17th, the violation still remained. The window screen still remained in need of replacing.
I'm sorry, Ms. Sanders, this case is for the BTR.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why you ain't stopped me with this? Oh my God. Which one is this?
Where number 10,
Greenwich. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. You see, I was thrown a little bit when I said 2023. I apologize. So scratch all of that.
This is for the BTR. Yeah,
this is what happens when you're trying to do dual tasks. I'm trying to upload photos for TCM and this, that. I apologize. My apologies. 1470 Northeast 123rd Street. Code Officer Sanders, City of North Miami, for the business tax receipt. This is also a new case that was originally cited May 11, 2023, whereas doing a annual housing inspection, it was observed that the business tax receipt had not been obtained. We mailed out certified mailing, tried to make contact with the property owner. I myself was the officer at that time. I didn't know, they got no follow up. I did have a conversation with them maybe about a month or two ago. They said they were under new management and asked for more time. As of my last reinspection, the business tax receipt has not been obtained, and they were still working on it. I am showing proper service was given. Administrative staff mailed out the notice to appear. I posted the property myself on June 1st, 2025. And again, as of my last reinspection, the business tax receipt has not been obtained.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice, owners have failed to appear. This has been ongoing for 2 years now, right?
Yes, since May 11, 2023.
All right. I find in favor of the city intern adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $250.
Sorry, madam, you said 250?
$250, correct.
Thank you.
And just so you know, since you're new working with me, all cases that I rule on, the cost assessment is automatic.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Next case is case number 11, Greenwich Association, Inc., CEZCU 2023-00807. The inspector for this case is Ms. Shanna Sanders as well.
This is for the certificate of use. Shanna Sanders, Neighborhood Service Inspector. This is the companion case for the case that we just heard regarding the business tax receipt. This is a new case being presented to you for the first time. It was originally cited May 11, 2023, while doing an annual house inspection. One of the violations that was observed was that they did not have a certificate of use. They were put on notice and cited at that time. As of my last reinspection, violation has not been met. I did speak to a staff from Greenwich maybe about 3 months ago. They said they were under new management. They asked, can I give them more time, for which I did. But again, as of my last reinspection, still no applications have been submitted to the city. I am showing proper service was given. Administrative staff mailed out the notice to appear, as well as I myself hand posted the notice for this property on the door of the building or the condo. The management office was posted on June 1st of 2023. I'm sorry, 2025.
I was about to say, we're going back to now. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the court enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice. Owners have failed to appear, hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $250.
Thank you, Magistrate.
Thank you. Next case is case number 12, Erwin Feldman, TRS, Feldman, Living TRS, case number CEBPR 2024-00166. This is also another case for Mr. Gabriel Morales. The inspector who's gonna present this case as Mr. Kessner Jean Marie. Ma'am, if I can give a little bit background on this particular case. We received an email from Durham, Miami-Dade County, Durham, with a list of different properties that have a grease trap without permits on their end. So this is one of the many cases that that we open a violation for this. I'll have Mr. Jim Marie to go ahead and present the case now.
Okay, thank you.
We can hear you. We not.
Is it his earpiece?
No, we can't hear you yet. Sorry, technical difficulties.
I understand.
Sorry. Good morning. I'm Inspector Kessner Jean-Marie.
Good morning.
I'm taking over this case for Inspector Morales. The violation was open November 25th. And the notice to appear was posted May 31, 25 as a final inspection date, no permit in the system.
Okay, this was open on 11/25/24.
Exactly.
Okay, no permit on file. You said notice was given on May 31st, correct?
May 31st.
June, we sent a notice to
I
appear, certified mail on June 5th, 2025.
Okay. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice. Owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. The violation is not resolved by the abatement date. There will be a daily fine amount of $350. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kessner.
Thank you.
Next case is case number 13. Joanne J. Parker, TRS, CEVPR 2023-00807. This case was found guilty by Magistrate Smith, Nasabe back March 14th, 2025. Fine set at $350 plus $100 cost assessment. The inspector for this case is Mr. Jamie George.
Good morning. Inspector Jamie for the city of North Miami. This case went to court, and when it was found guilty, it was found guilty by the Magistrate Smith. The property owner, I've been in contact with him. But I'm not sure. I don't think he understands the severity of the violation, because every time I call him, he's not aware. Like I posted the notice to appear. The recent one. I posted the notice to appear on May 31st. And the last time I spoke to him was June 18th, which was the final reinspection date. And that day he admitted to me that they did work on the upstairs unit, but at that time he said he wasn't aware that he needed a permit for the floorboards. He said that they did work on the floorboards. I told him that he had to go to the building department to obtain the permit for it. But since then, I haven't. He hasn't called me. He hasn't told me anything. And in the system, there is no permit on file for the work that was done. I know he went, because he called me again that same day that he was there in the building department. But as of today, there's no permit in the system.
And this has been ongoing since 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I also find good notice, given proper notice, owners have failed to appear. The 13, the daily fine amount, $350, is hereby ratified, retroactive to March 14, 2025.
Thank you. Next case is case number 14, Prestige Biscayne LLC, case number CEMHS 2023-00672. This case was found guilty by Magistrate Smith, was abated by December 4th, 2024. Fine set at $350 plus $100 cost assessment. Inspector for this case is Mr. Alex Bernardin.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Inspector Bernardin, Neighborhood Services. So as of today, we'll be seeing a violation placed on the Prestige property on screens for their windows. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, this violation was issued out since December of last year, I believe. Yeah, so the violation was issued out since December, and December of 23, and it's still pending. There's nothing that's been fixed, nothing been rectified of the issue. When I did my inspection and the re-inspection, the issues were still there. You can see it from the pictures and everything that we demonstrated. Yeah, these are the most recent pictures of the property.
Okay, what am I looking at?
So there are windows. There are no screens on any of the windows. Yeah, I do apologize. I had to get as the closest windows I can get to. I took a few pictures. Like that one is the best we got. There are no screens or anything on any of the windows on the property throughout the entire property.
Okay, all right, I can see. All right, what did you say about notice?
Excuse me?
Notice?
Yeah, the notice was both issued and it was also mailed to the property and the property
June
owner.
6, 2025.
All right, thank you. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. Also find good notice, given proper notice, owners have failed to appear. The daily fine amount of $350 is hereby ratified, retroactive to December 4th, 2024.
Perfect. Thank you, Magistrate.
Thank you, sir.
Next case is case number 17. San Souci Condominium, MHVIO 2023-00756. Inspector for this case is Ms. Shanna Sanders.
Shanna Sanders, Neighborhood Service Inspector. This is a new case for a minimum housing issue regarding missing and or damaged screens throughout the property. This case was originally opened January 18, 2023 by Inspector Tamara Petite, who is no longer with the city. So it's been passed on to me to follow up and re-inspect. We re-inspected the property on June 3rd of 2024, whereas we noticed a violation still remained open at that time. So we mailed out the notice. I believe at that time we were going through some changes at the city. But for whatever reason, I see it wasn't, the case wasn't presented in June of 2024. Therefore, we went ahead and filed it for this case. I inspected the property on June 17th and observed the screen still remained missing. I posted the property for the notice to appear on June 3rd. And again, as of my re-inspection, violation still remains.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice, owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $350.
Next case is case 18, Tonya Harrell, case number CEBPR 2023-00895, found guilty by Magistrate Kasu, must abate by April 18th, 2025. Fine set at $450 plus $100 cost assessment. Inspector for this case is Ms. Shannon Sanders.
Shannon Sanders, Neighborhood Service Inspector, property address 13105 Northwest 12th Avenue. As of my last reinspection on June 17th, the violation still remains. I do show that they submitted an application, which we probably put that on record at our initial hearing, but they did submit an application for the enclosure back in August 2023. However, I don't see any movement at all with it. I don't see any denials. I don't see any approvals. I, don't see anything at all going on with this application. When I hand delivered the notice to the property owner's daughter, we had a conversation and we spoke of the lack of movement. She said no one had reached out from the city, so I gave them a little nudge and said, will you guys go and see what's going on? I have not had any further contact with them since my posting. So again, as my last reinspection, compliance has not been met. I am showing proper service was given. I posted the property. Well, I started to post the property, but as I was posting, they opened the door, so I kind of, hand delivered it. And I am showing certified mailing was mailed out by the administrative staff on June 3rd as well.
I do have a concern though.
Okay.
You said that they submitted an after the fact permit and there's nothing in the system as to whether or not it was approved or denied. So that says to me that's the city. That's not the resident.
And I'm going to say, from what I'm observing, I see nothing in the system and possibly building. Please, chime in. I don't want to, the city to, look bad or throw anyone under the bus. Can you chime in and see what's going on with this? Are you guys aware of this case? I know you used to kind of see what's going on on the docket when we have building cases. Do you all have some update on this that I'm not aware of?
Is the building inspector still present?
I see they're still logged in. I just don't. Mr. Colson or Shani Pressy, are you guys available?
I think they may have stepped away from their desk.
Okay.
So I'm only going by then what I visibly see in the computer as of, I'm looking now as we speak. I don't see anything other than an application submitted. I don't see none of the disciplines having reviewed it, no comments, nothing. But I'm looking here, yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm going by.
Yes.
Because what we asked the owners to do is to submit something, an after the fact permit.
We have the building department on, Ms. Kasu.
Okay. All right.
Jenny, we can hear you.
I'm sorry, which number we on? I'm so sorry. I had to step away from my desk.
We are on number 18.
Number 18, and this obtain the permit? Okay. For
13105 Northwest 12th Avenue.
I believe they just submitted it. So hold on, let me double check my notes because I wrote it down. Hold on. Number 18. Okay, so this permit is from 2023, and if I'm not mistaken, it's nothing has been updated since then. They have to go to Miami-Dade County. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. I don't want to get the wrong information. From what I remember. Okay, so what it is, once they come in, they'll get a process number. We would then send them to Miami-Dade County to get approved through Fire and Derm. Once they come back, they'll bring the approved sets to us, and they have not done it as of today. And now the permit application is considered abandoned. They will have to start all over. So it still remains.
All right.
Could be bold enough to ask Sean. I'm sorry, Magistrate. Go ahead.
Is it showing abandoned or is showing closed? What is it showing? Because
so right now it's still in working process because we was waiting for them, but we don't have any plans here in the system.
How are they notified? Because if they're not notified, could it very well be that they're thinking that this is open and pending, just waiting for the city?
So no, once they come into the city, we give them the process number to go to Miami-Dade County. Where they at with Miami-Dade County, I have no idea. They can be going back and forth with comments. We won't know because that's their responsibility to submit to Miami-Dade County, and once they get approved, to bring it back to us. And as of today, they still have not. And it's been more than 2 years, and I'm quite sure that permit is considered abandoned in Miami-Dade County.
So that's Durham, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Only the owner probably can answer that question as far as where they at with that process.
Inspector Sanders, you were going to add something.
I was going to ask what your second question was. Have they been notified on that? Because when my conversation, she was, she seemed to not know what was going on. She said she submitted it, but I guess Shawnee's already answered saying yes, that when they submit the application, they're already directed to go to those departments or cities or Durham or whoever.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the court enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. Also find good notice, given proper notice, owners that failed to appear hereby find in favor of the city. The daily fine amount of $450 is hereby ratified, retroactive to April 18th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank
Next case is case number 18, YMP Center Court LLC. Case number CESOD 2025-00010. This is also another case for Inspector Gabriel Morales. We'll have Inspector Reynald Casimir to present on his behalf.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Magistrate. Inspector Casimir. The violation that's at hand is the lawn area, the swell area that needs to be resodded and was damaged because vehicles were parking on it. The initial violation took place on the 14th of January. We mailed out the violation on the 15th, and as of today, no compliance has been met.
Tell me about notice.
Yes, the notice was also sent out on the 15th of January.
No, June 5th, 2025.
Oh, June 5th, 2025.
Notice to appear was sent to certified mail.
Because if you send me a notice to appear back in January, I'm not showing up.
Yeah.
No, we did send it on June 5th.
It was June 5th. I got that mistaken with the notice violation letter, but it was June 5th.
All right.
And these are the photos, the recent photos.
That's the swell area?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice, orders have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have 30 days by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $350.
Thank you. Next case is case number 20, YMP Center Ford LLC, MHBIO 2022000628. This case was found guilty by Magistrate Casu, must abate by July 19th, 2024. The fine was set at $500 plus 100 cost assessment. This case is also for Inspector Gabriel Morales, and we have Inspector Reynald Casimir to present on his behalf.
Inspector Casimir here. The case has been going on, Magistrate, since 2022. You guys found it guilty back in 2024. As of today, it's still no compliance. We mailed out the notice to appear on the 5th of June, and no compliance has been met. The violation is windows, doors, and screens. No windows screens throughout the entire building.
I vaguely remember this case. It's been a while.
Yep, 2022.
Okay. You said notice was posted and sent when?
Yes, ma'am.
When was it? Date?
June the 5th.
Okay.
2025.
2025.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. Also find good notice. Given proper notice, owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city the daily fine amount of $500 is hereby ratified, retroactive to July 19th, 2024. Well,
Magistrate, that concludes today's agenda.
That was a short one.
It was. Unfortunately, we had issues with the system and we had to reschedule half of the cases.
Well, I see a lot of new faces.
Yes.
Good morning, and welcome to all. Good job, everyone. Just so you know, I always ask for notice because I need to make sure that residents, owners have proper notice. And I make my ruling based on that. I need to make sure that people have the opportunity to be heard because the law requires that we give them proper notice and due process. So that's important.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Good
Thank
seeing
you very much, Magistrate.
Great job,
Appreciate it. And thank you for your patience. You know, we kind of figured I was taught to swim. When I went to swimming class, as soon as I passed by the pool, the coach kind of threw me in and I had to learn to swim. Well, we have a couple of guys here that we really like that are a good part of our team and they're new. And we figured, hey, Gabriel, one of our team members, is out on an actual emergency. And it was gracious of you to treat us in this fashion because really it's their first time and I think they did a good job. Thank you, team. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. I understand that. And yes, everyone did a wonderful job covering for your colleague and considering this is your first time presenting. And I know about, technical difficulties. We love Zoom, but we know every now and again stuff happens. I actually had a case where it was special set, and I guess Madam Attorney would understand that. And Comcast just completely cut out Wi-Fi. The entire neighborhood had no Wi-Fi. And my case was to start at 3, and it's 2 o'clock. My client and I are sitting there panicking at my office. And thank God for, connections and support. I had to call a colleague of mine and say, can my client and I come to your office for this hearing? And luckily they said yes. So I do understand. We love Zoom, but, after all, it's human, errors, stuff happens. So I completely understand. Thank you so much, everyone. Madam Clerk, you did an awesome job.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Great seeing you. Madam City Attorney, I hope you're getting some sleep with the new baby.
I'm not. How much, Special Magistrate?
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you guys.
Bye. Thank you. Have an amazing day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.